um, a good rapper because it's called, yeah, put it down to the well, that was a good a good wrap up because the holy day we just had basically completed the editing of the atonement, teaching on Yom Kippur, Asesio, Yisarek, and Sarietuk, the feast of Yahweh Baruchu, the feast of Exyavihir Lotus Sabhat of Negus Neges Be Kristos IYESUS. The Day of Atonement, we touched on that, a basic teaching on that. Then after the Day of Atonement, especially if you look at Leviticus, let's start this off with where we're so focused on the atonement, the Day of Atonement, and getting the teachings up there. I think about maybe 5 or 6 parts of that particular teaching on the YouTubes for those who are interested and willing to learn. And we had went to a teaching on Deuteronomy yesterday about the Sabbatic year. We would have put that up if we had time for it, but since Sukkot or Sukkot begins today, or you could say this evening, this day, and this is just give me a time check, the 22nd. So for the next how many nights? For the next 7 nights, and if we add 7 to 22, we have roughly around 30. Now, can you just do a time check? I know it's normally September 27th, but just do a time check on that from the Google when the finding of the true cross. The finding of the true cross, because we've been speaking in terminology of Ethiopian Hebrew or Hebraic Ethiopian, and the Hebrew and the Ethiopian cultures are as one, in other words, and that's based on the covenant. That's based on even before Negus Solomon and Negis Makeda, or the queen of Sheba, the queen of Yazeg, Negis. But it's fine that when the finding of the true cross, or what they call Mescal, because many think that's just a earth thing. It's just something that happens here on earth, but actually it happens as above, so below. So it's not just a mundane or so-called worldly or earthly thing, but it's actually a reflection of what's going on in the heavens. This is when we talk about astro-theological and those lunar, solar, so forth and so on. Actually, we thought we were, well, to a degree, we are a little bit late in the sense. We are a little bit late, but don't count slackness like the worldly slackness, but the patience of Adonai, of the Gita is important, and give thanks that he has mercy on I and I, even in our present state, to reveal these revelations to and through I and I. But Sukkot or Sukkot begins according to the lunar calculation of time, which is the Hebraic. So when we speak about the lunar, you understand, or the lunatic in a sense, we're speaking about the Hebraic. Now people say that's crazy. Well, yeah, it kind of is, if you understand what Hebrew means compared to the world. You understand the Seklura, or Babylon, or Mystery Babylon. So anyway, it is crazy. You understand, most of the spiritual people are thought to be like the Bahitawis and the Debteras and the monks and priests and holy men are often thought to be crazy in some sense. You understand? But what's really crazy is going along with the world. You understand? It's going along with the world system. It's going along with the Antichrist. That's really what's crazy. Especially some of these people, they know a little bit of something. But this time is called the time of our, rejoicing. It's called a joyous time. This is one of the festivals. This actually concludes, concludes the third of the 3 times that it says that all the males of Israel, all the Hebrews and all the males of Israel to gather and appear before Yahweh Eloheinu. So this is the beginning, September 22nd. And we want to just basically try to put up an announcement about that. And because we have this information society, you know, we have the ability to, you know, Google things. Ones can Google and get a little more information for themselves. But we're going to provide some more teaching and hopefully some more illumination on this particular feast and festival time and why it's important and how the so-called Jewish or Hebrew festival connects with the Ethiopian or the Ethiopian Tewahedo or the Ethiopian Christian, the Ethiopic Church. We're trying to avoid this word Orthodox because most folks that use it, it's a foreign term. First of all, it's a foreign term. To express what if Orthodox is used, like with Ethiopian Orthodox, if Orthodox is going to be used for anything good, if there's anything good to it, for us as Ethiopians, we have our own terminology for Orthodox. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of folks in the church and a lot of so-called Ethiopian Orthodox Christian folk don't know what that particular word is in the Ge'ez, but we'll touch on that. So we prefer to call our church the Ethiopic Church or the Tewahedo Church. But commonly it's confused or confounded or mixed up with the popular Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Be that as it may, this particular festival time, there are 7 festivals, 7 feasts. You can go to our website and get a basic overview of that. But in the, hopefully, Yah willing, the coming months and this new year or new season time, we'll be able to go over these festivals and further get ourselves in order. In other words, coming out of chaos, Babylon, and getting ourselves into the order of the King of Kings and His Christ. So this is a SUCCOTH. This is a SUCCOTH time. Now, what does SUCCOTH mean? First of all, let's touch on this right here. We were in the Deuteronomy Orit of Zedagim, chapter 15, where it spoke about the Sabbatic year, the Sabbatical year. Then, in the beginning of chapter 16, it goes over the feast. Now, the order of the feast, or the Be'alatat in the Ge'ez, or the Moedim, the festivals, the feast season, or what is seasons. Some say the Moedim means rehearsals. That the order of the feast is found in Leviticus 23, Leviticus chapter 23. Once again, we like to emphasize the Schofield Study Bible, the Oxford edition. You can find that at our website, LOJSociety.org, and go to recommended books. The particular book that we recommend, the study Bible that we recommend, because of its studied notes, the accuracy of its studied notes, and of its alignment and agreement with what we define as Tewahedo, or the true Orit Ethiopian, the true faith of we as Ethiopian Hebrews. So if you go to Leviticus 23, it outlines the order of the feast. Now here we're at Deuteronomy chapter 16, footnote. Here, the Passover, Fasika, and tabernacles are given special emphasis as marking the beginning and consummation, or the beginning and end, or the Alpha and Omega, in that sense, or the Ha and the Peh, or the Aleph and the Tau, or the Tav, of Elohim's ways, the true God's ways, Yahweh Baruch Hu's ways with Israel. So from Passover to Tabernacles is like the completion of a cycle, or of God's ways, His ways. This is what it means, that to learn the ways of the King of Kings and His Christ. Learn the true way of Christ. Because Christ fulfilled, we are taught in Christianity that Christ, Jesus, or Yehewshewa, HaMashiach, He fulfilled the Old Testament types and shadows and types that was from the Old Testament, that He fulfilled this. So we have to learn, well, what is it that Christ fulfilled from a Hebraic, therefore from a more authentic, and for lack of a better word, we have to say a Jewish, based on Judah and the line of the tribe of Judah, Moa Anbesa Za'ima Negeda Yehuda. So the former The first one, Fasika, speaks of redemption, Bejnet, or we could say the Goal in the Hebrew, the foundation of all. The latter, or Tabernacles, it speaks of regathered Israel, the regathering of the Beit Israel, or the Ethiopian Hebrews at home and abroad, blessed in the kingdom. So this is part of the particular time that we are in as a people, the manifestation of it. We're coming towards this regathering, this ingathering. It's also called ingathering. Now, between these two, between Passover and Tabernacles, according to Deuteronomy 16 verses 9 to 12, comes the Feast of Weeks, the feast or the Festival of Weeks, the joy of a redeemed people anticipating or in hopes or expectation or tesfa of greater Bereket which are yet to come.